a little bit more about it later. The title is Enterprise Architectural Principles and Adoptions, and really I loved the presentations of Neil Thompson. It's Bullseye, and I will tell also a little bit about it, but maybe with some different words and some different methods and techniques, but it's aligning very well, I think. So my name is Hans. I have 3 roles at the moment. I'm the enterprise architect for the business line digital. I'm also lead of a team of 10 persons about digital twin consultancy, and I'm a CTO at interim. And this session, enterprise architecture, is also a little bit a boost for my second presentation in the afternoon about asset management, BIM, and valuable digital twins. Okay, we look to that in the afternoon. A little bit about Royal Haskoning, a fact sheet, an engineering design and consultancy firm. We exist already for more than 100 years. We're all global about the world. We have more than 6,000 employees, and our turnover was 700 million in 2022. And we are in the business of engineering, consulting, and all kinds of digital solutions, expertise, markets, aviation, buildings, energy, industry, infrastructure, maritime, water. And our global challenges are just like a lot of consultancy firms have the challenges about sustainability, resilience, and digital transformation. And our promise in our logo is also by shifting perspectives, we are enhancing society together. Okay, this is enough about the firm. Then let's go to the content of this presentation. And it's about enterprise architecture. And enterprise architecture is familiar with, if you call it, business and IT architecture. So it's not the architectural from the physical buildings. That's a preserved word also, and we call us enterprise architects. And there's a beautiful definition of enterprise architecture from ISO, and I will read it because I think it's a good hit what it really is. Enterprise architecture is the conceptualization of the form, so how it looks like, the function, what can it do, and the fitness for purpose, so why is it there, of an enterprise in its environment, as embodied in the elements of the enterprise, the relationships, or elements is processes, functions, components, assets, etc. And the relation, so the relation between all those elements, the relation to the enterprise, to the environment, and the principles guiding the design and evolution of the enterprise. If you are in an elevator, you can also say, actually, enterprise architecture are the principles and models that design the enterprise. Why should you do enterprise? There are 5 important aspects. You can more distinctive. You can reduce complexity because you get insights in all kinds of things in an enterprise. You can achieve enhanced governance because enterprise is an important part in the governance. We will see that later. You can create better change management, and you foster strategic collaboration. That are the main 5 why when to use enterprise architecture. And there are a lot of benefits. I will not read them all, but the 3 things who are always available is you get better insights. Because you have better insights, you can do better decision making. And if you have those insights, you have the models, you can also use that as starting point for further design. And that's maybe also a little bit the where we with design computation is the most closest link, I think. If you want to set up an enterprise architecture, then you need a well-stocked toolbox, which is not immediately making all kinds of architectures, but you also have to design the architectural function. We will have a close look to that. Then, of course, we have to describe all kinds of architectures. Then we have the craftsmanship of the architect and all kinds of examples from practice. And if you have this in your toolbox, then you can then your maturity of an architecture will be high. We will just touch the design of the architecture function and the describing architectures to two others. Not really. Because enterprise architecture is just one of the capabilities you need if you want to do a change, or if you want to do a digital transformation. And we use that as we call it the business empowerment framework. And it's about 11 capabilities you need for doing transitions or doing big change. Just click this away. Yeah. And you see those orange one is about strategy and innovation. If your strategy and innovation is right, you can do business transformation planning. As a company, we have a method for that. It's with that roof and that 4 columns and 3 rows and that bar thumb underneath. It's the goal is to come to a good change portfolio. You use enterprise architecture with it. That's on the left, and you have portfolio management on the right, and you have to also to do the changes with change management. The other more blue capabilities is more about solution and design, implementation, realization, and in the end you have also some run things. So the above things are for change, and the gray things are for the run, and I use here the idle functions in it, and you see here those 11 capabilities and enterprise architectures there. So it's not the only one you need, but it's an important one. And you can also, if you look to this picture, say the left part is more on the content and the right part is more on the process, and the middle part has elements of both of them. If you want to govern all changes, then it's most of the time good that the business transformation planners or information managers are available, that portfolio management is available, that the enterprise architect are there, and the main change management or program management. And if you come together with that, you can also govern your changes good on the portfolio table. Another important part is, and then you go more to describing the enterprises, that you use the right methods, techniques, and tooling. And the real standard about methods is that are process steps. You have to do this first, that you have to do that and that and that, and what are all the relationships between it. The TOGAF from the open group, and then the active development method is the architecture development method, ADM, with those orange circles. They are important. It's a very big and maybe also a little bit theoretical approach, but the first step is also the preliminary step to choose just that chapters and those parts in that big methodology, what is good for your enterprise. And second part, we go to the techniques. How do you describe enterprise models? Then we have the open standard, what's called Archimate. Archimate has a 3.2 version already, so it's really mature. And over there you see those layers and cross sections with all the elements you can describe and the relations in it. Also, that Archimate one is a quite comprehensive one, and in our firm we use the Novius framework to make it a little bit simpler, but it's still 100% compliant to Archimate. And we made that, and Novius made a model with those 4 pillars again. And we made the Novius made a model based on Archimate, where we describe all our pictures in. And I will show some examples later what you can do with it. To do this, you need good tooling. There are a lot of toolings for enterprise architecture. At our firm, we use the tool Horizon from BizDesign. That works quite well. Not cheap, those tools, but they work well. There are also free tools like Archie. It's also an open source tool, but that's not a really collaborative tool. And I think it's very important, if you work with a lot of people, you can collaborative work on all kinds of architect models. Now let's do a closer look to that architecture framework, what's based on that technique of Archimate. This is a framework, and we describe all of our things on this model. And you have the first column is about products, architects, business services, channels, customers, and parties. The upper part of it is more the logical description, and the under part is more the physical description, where you do it with which resources. And it's the outside part, so that's what we're delivering to our clients. Then we have more the inside part, is about processes and organization. You put on your business object, business functions and processes. You do the governance, and you have all kinds of roles and organizations who do the work. Then we have the third column, the blue one, is the information and applications column, is about the data objects related to application components. Then we have application services and functions, application interfaces and application components. And then the fourth column is about technology, and it's about technology and physical technologies, information technology and physical technology. So, for instance, the assets and equipment, etc., you can also describe that in that column. So the layer, you have an input-output layer, behavior layer, interface layer, and the resource layer. And if you use these kind of frameworks, you can make a real good architectural models where you can get the insights, you can make better decisions on it, and you can also use it for further design. Go back to the architectural function, because if you looked to those different columns, you can have specialists on that, specialists on product data, process data, on data, on IT, but you can also look to more support services, back office, front office, so another dimension. And you have the enterprise architect, what can be that everything is consistent and coherent to each other. So you have different architects, kind of architects, business IT architect in this field, and it's a part to organize and organize that well. what I said, architecture in the elevator space is about the models and principles guide your enterprise. And we made more the application and IT principles for our company for on the digital twin side. I will give more attention to that in my second presentation, but these are the principles. And they are really guiding in our company. So it's to reuse before buy, before build is an important one. But there are a lot of them behind it. Use generic IT services. Don't build up your own technical stacks. In our company, we have also we use Azure if we make PaaS services. But SaaS services before PaaS services, we like manage open source over unmanaged open source, multi-tenancy before single tenancy. And an important one is that all the twin added value services in operation, maintenance, engineering, construction, doing simulation, analytics, machine learning, control, also all the things that Neil just showed us, are using the twin core. So that is the backbone. It's actually, it is the digital twin with all the data where those services work on. And for integration, we also made some integration principles which are important. And if we develop things, so that is with the use of third-party products, or we build things ourselves, these are the most important guiding principles. If you describe architectures, and this is one we put from East West Rail, the company where AOL is working at the moment, they made really nice managerial, so a little bit pimped up pictures how a digital rail company looks like. And so this is not formalized, but this is made for the management, that these are all the important things, what you have to do, all the capabilities. And they made another one what is specifically looked at the capabilities of a railway company. And you see here, and I like this very much, you see from, if you read from under to above it, you have capabilities that run the organization, that runs the railway. You have all kinds of capabilities that enable the running of the railway, and all kinds of capabilities that run the railway. And some capabilities on the side. And all those capabilities are contributing to the vision and specific outcomes which are defined. These are the capabilities, and you need all kinds of services. There's business services and application services, and systems are needed to realize those capabilities. And in those there are also all kinds of assets involved, of course, as stations and infra, but also software assets and IT assets. And there's a beautiful way to pimp up all kinds of capabilities. And they also formalize this with SysML and system engineering tool to give insights in that. You can also, what I already said, also formalize it, and on those 4 columns you saw with our framework, we made this Novius meta model. And then you see, for instance, that work processes are realizing services and application services that is in the 3rd column are always being used in work processes with the application interfaces used by business roles for which are assigned to work processes. I will not go to in all those details, but if you follow these kind of meta models, you can describe architectural functions very well. Just an example for what we did also in the digital twin field. We worked with data objects, services, and application functions. And it's just, we made this application function and event layer and objects, and we used it to build our digital twins. And it's a formalized method, but it's very, very powerful to do that. I think I will skip this one because I also do this already in my second presentation, but there is of course, I'm running out of time, because there is a big similarity between enterprise architecture and system engineering, but I will do that later. The takeaways is, enterprise architecture is, as I look, just as computational design, also design. You can use enterprise architecture as a good starting point for design, and you have to trace it, and you have to develop an enterprise architecture function. What's the position within governance and the other capabilities for change? You have to choose on methods, techniques, and tooling. They're all three needed. You make formal models and pimped versions, and craftsmanship is important. And if using system design and enterprise architecture, you must first make a Michi meta model, otherwise you are not working right. This is my presentation.